Yep.
Forever.
Oh, you look good. Your smile is
We
great.
might have to scoot back, Frank, and do
Oh,
4
we're
of
gonna
us
tuck in my shirt? Yes, please.
instead of 3.
What's that?
So we might have to scoot back a little bit.
Are you
It'll be
live
4 of
streaming?
us.
Okay. Why is this not? Come on, man.
JR, you want to scoot to where
Hey,
it balances out?
JR.
Are you going to be right here, Frank?
Yeah, I'll be next to Scott.
Okay.
I want Frank Daddy right here.
You got Frank?
All right, we should be up and live now. It says we're live. People are up. You have to talk loud, Scott. That's all.
I'll try to loud talk, Frank. We don't have our little dead
Send
cat.
me the embed thing.
Yep, I'm gonna get
Are we
it.
live?
Oh, yeah, I need the embed link, huh?
1, 2, check, check, check.
Share,
So,
copy link.
get in here. Custom what?
Yes.
Can you guys see me?
It says you're live. Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything on my side.
We'll see.
So it's just a thumbnail? Probably not.
It's live.
Just in case. Click on the thumbnail.
It's live. You're live. I see you.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. You're live. I see you.
There's a big delay.
We'll see.
Some is going to kill this, so that some of that. We're live. How do you guys like the rifle? We're live. How do you guys like the rifle? Corey, are you coming in hot?
Almost.
Did you drop that on Sniper Side yet or no? I might have a link right. Did you drop that on Sniper Side yet or no?
Yeah, I just.
Let me get share link.
No, you're in though.
I'm in.
I was watching the second.
Oh,
You got glasses on? You got shit.
We're gonna eat our lunch on camera? Huh?
Probably.
It will arrive while we're on camera. What's that? It will arrive while we're on camera.
Everybody's posting it.
Did you text them? So there's a few seconds delay. 5%.
You can say hi to people, Scott.
Yeah, hi everyone. I wasn't very sincere. Well, I'm sorry, Rat.
I could probably.
I guess we're gonna miss Matt and Corey.
Where's coming in?
Yeah, I'm adding it to Mile High Facebook page.
Pardon?
He's just adding the link to everything right now.
Good to go.
I'm sure everyone tuning in right now is loving the commentary.
Your mic's.
AKA,
Yeah, I'm gonna I can record off of that, or I can record. I got my mic right here. Test, test, test.
Testing.
That's how you do it.
I gotta go. Test, test, test.
You get into the comments.
I don't know how this works. How do I see the comments, Frank?
You gotta be on the
He's on the live feed YouTube.
You gotta check.
So you get yours done.
this is, I'm just doing.
Probably do all of the team guns and this lifetime red.
I just do the police recorder for that.
63 people. Oh, 63 people.
Oh, 63, that's pretty good.
Awesome.
Here's,
All right.
here's,
so-
here's the questions, can you guys see?
I can't, I'm trying to locate them. I don't know where they're at. I'm not smart enough for this.
Fucking idiots. If somebody's texting me during this thing, you gotta be the dumbest people on the planet.
Of course they are. Oh, maybe it's, are we officially ready, Frank?
I guess so.
All right, cool. Yeah, I want to say hi to the whole Snipers High YouTube community. I'm Scott with Accuracy International. Here today with Frank Galley of Snipers High, and I've got three of our Team AI shooting members. That would be Corey West, Jonathan Roberts, and Matt Walters. Matt will be joining us shortly. So today would have been the opening day of the 2021 SHOT Show. We had intended to.
Yeah, talk loud, 'cause it's loud too.
Yeah, we had intended to introduce a new model of rifle at SHOT Show today. We did the ATX, which is in front of us right now. So we're bringing it to you via the internet today. We've got a lot of other content posted and going up on different internet avenues. So there's a lot of information coming out on the gun. We hope you guys will hit us with some good questions that we can answer in the next half of an hour or so. But anyway, we're going to dive into the kind of the history and the development of the gun, and why we came out with this new rifle. So I'm gonna kind of turn some of this over to JR and Rhett, who were deeply involved in the development.
They're saying the audio's messed up. The
Okay.
volume, I think we're a little far, maybe there.
Okay.
Bring that sucker in tight.
Yeah, I may have to bring it in. I could probably widen it. Let me see if there's a way to. We can, you know what? Maybe angle for everybody.
Ooh, close up.
Yeah, how's that? So that we could kind of turn towards that and get more of us.
Can you see my picture? Is
Is that perfect? Better?
Is the audio better?
How's that? Everybody's good?
Okay.
So that, sorry man, but like I said, we had another camera system and it was giving me fits, and rather than fight it, I had to do an auto update, and then in order to connect it, it wanted me to connect to my damn phone, but I had switched phones and it's texting my old phone and not my new one.
Where do I go to find the questions, Frank?
I got them right here. I can read them. Everybody's right here. Yep, sounds great next to the camera. That's good. Better. Yes, everybody's better.
All right, cool.
All right, guys.
Yeah, so we're looking at the ATX rifle, guys. This rifle is going to replace both the AX short action and the AT short action in 2021. And this gun is really geared toward competitive and recreational shooting a lot more than any of our past rifles. As most of our followers know, AI traditionally developed sniper rifles that are based on very tightly written end user specifications. So this gun really is focused toward there's a large growing community of tactical precision rifle shooting worldwide, and we really are focusing this gun toward that entire global community. We came out with the AX platform about 7 years ago, and when we put together the team and got involved in competition shooting, that gun really was it was very competitive rifle, and our guys did really well with it. We placed highly in a lot of categories and places like PRS.
I'll bring it right. They're saying you're a low talker.
Okay. Yeah, low talker.
Scott is a low talker. There's not much we could. I had to when I did the video for you, Scott. I had to bump your DB like 8 dB over everybody else's.
Oh, okay.
So you're a low talker, dude.
Where is this though?
Right there. It's on Facebook, on
Snapchat?
YouTube.
Live.
We're live.
We're live. Come on in. So anyway, yeah. So they're just saying I'm fine, but Scott's low. So Scott, you're gonna have to yell, and you're gonna have to do Scott yelling.
Okay, well, I'll talk for a couple more minutes and then turn it over to
The loud talkers.
The loud talkers. So, yeah, so this gun is designed to address some of the shortcomings of the AX rifle. You know, as competition has gotten more and more heated, the rifles that people are using are much more highly developed. And, you know, as a lot of you know, we've been heavily tied up in the development of a new generation of sniper rifle for like the last 2.5 years. And once we got the ASR and AXSR into production, we had the bandwidth to turn our attention to this segment of the market. So this rifle was really developed with input from all of the team shooters. We needed a gun that was fast to stabilize. It was highly accessorizable, updatable. We have a lot of accessories already developed and to be developed for this system. And so I'll let JR kind of address some of the key things that the team really wanted in this rifle.
There you go, JR.
All right. So last year, Scott was gracious enough when we went down and kind of rated AI and got some old weights that were made for a totally different project. And I took them out to my range and started putting them all over my gun, trying to get the gun to settle faster and to be more stable under recoil and to be more stable, you know, just settling on the bag. And during that testing, these are some of the smaller weights. I had a couple of very large weights that weighed probably 8-10 pounds a piece. The big ones.
Yeah,
they were huge.
They were developed for a 50 cal
Yep.
gun.
And I slapped those on there as well just to see what they would do. And what we came up with was the height over bore was pretty much what the gun wants to do is cantilever on top of that bag. So that was one of the main things is we wanted to have that center line of the bore as close to the bag as possible for this new rifle. And what that will do is give you a straighter recoil impulse. So the reticle will not jump as much under recoil and you'll be able to spot your shot a lot easier.
So what did you find about just adding weight to the gun?
We probably put upwards of 20 pounds extra onto an AX, and depending upon where we put it, it didn't really make all that much difference in the reticle jump. I actually put them kind of on the bottom of the gun, so it set the gun up higher, even though the gun weighed probably 15 to 20 pounds more than it normally would, it jumped even more. The reticle would move 10, 12 mils at least, because it was so much higher off of that bag than it was without the weights whatsoever. The height over bore the height over bore and balance made more difference than anything else, even just sheer weight. That's what
You guys brought that up yesterday, that it's not a case of just adding weight to the gun. It's adding weight in the right places for the recoil pulse of that rifle.
Exactly right. You can legislate it, but you're fighting a losing battle because you can make a system so
You gotta talk loud.
unusable
Yeah.
that, you know, and immobile that it's fighting you more than it's helping you.
The weight of the rifle without adding the weights is just shy of 13 pounds, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's exactly 13 pound.
Yep. So, and I guess Tom was saying, Beckstrand in his video, that the barrel alone, because you got a heavier profile barrel, is about 5 pounds in itself. If you swap this guy out to like a proof or something for somebody who wanted a crossover, they can get a lighter rifle, and they'll probably be under 10 pounds if they went to a proof. Just add it, but nothing. I mean, yeah, Scope will put it over, but
Yeah, sure. The barrel weighs about 5.4 pound. That's
yeah, talk loud, yell.
comes on the gun. So it is easy to take weight out of it going with a lighter bore or to add a heavier barrel if you still want to add weight to the gun.
And so then that's when the weight system, because like one of the things, let me put this over here, and you guys, and Scott brought this up in the other videos quite a bit, is mounting the weights. Do we have a spare one? Yeah. Mounting the weights higher. I was gonna just go. And then mounting them up so they're kind of over the bore and in line versus mounting them down is kind of what they were talking about. So, and then stacking like this makes that wide and will simulate a plate. Yeah, so if you look at that, they're stacking weights and they're creating that width because of how tight it is to that Arca rail. But it's not just about throwing weights like you guys say, it's putting weights in the right place.
So what this is really about is with the internal weights underneath the barrel, we're gonna be able to add those and then use the external weights to balance the rifle where you want it on the bag. And then you can actually use these weights in the back to simulate like a plate of some sort, but it gives you more of that bag contact. So it's a lot more stable when it hits the bag. It stabilizes significantly faster when you come into a bag and lay the gun down, and now it's just dead stable. It stops, there's no wobble, no nothing. That was the idea with adding those external stackable weights.
And you can still go too far. If you have too much contact with the bag, i.e., either manipulation with a plate that gives it a larger footprint, adding skid tape or things like that increase traction, the gun during the recoil impulse pivots over.
Yeah, it like JR was saying, a cantilever. So the nose comes up, the nose rises. Because it's got to recoil against us. It's going to come back in that recoil pulse, and we're not supporting the back of the rifle in the way you should, and that's where you get that nose rise. Like we talk about it in the class that you have to hold the back of the rifle and support the back because recoil is going to exploit the path of least resistance. And usually that's the junction between you and the rifle. So that's where you'll see the tip and the movement between the human body and then the back of the rifle. So, I mean, the guys have it on Sniper's Hide. It's like 100,000ths of an inch at the back will equal 1 inch at 100 yards. So if it's moving 100,000ths of an inch in your shoulder, that's 1 inch you missed at 100. So.
And that was the design of this rifle. We wanted it to sit. We wanted to move the center line of the board down as low with that bag as we could, and that was when the design team was able to sink that, chassis, the action down into the chassis even more than the AX was.
Yeah. Are these going to be made in England or the U.S.?
Both. These guns will be manufactured both in England and
You're going to have to talk louder, Scott.
Yeah.
And they'll be for sale in England and the United States as well.
Yeah, this will be a global product, and it will be a uniform specification around the world.
And then the action bonded, it's not bonded. Talk about swapping chassis, Scott, how you mentioned that what you're gonna be doing moving forward with the actions, barreled actions, the chassis and things like that.
Right, so you're right, Frank, this is not a bonded action. We've traditionally done that, but with the ASR and AXSR that we've been making now for over 2 years, that's a non-bonded action. It's performed extremely well. It doesn't need constant torque maintenance. Our 50 cals have never had a bonded action, and they've never required torque maintenance either.
Will this be available in a left-hand version sometime soon?
Sometime, I can't say how soon, but it will be available in a left-handed version. Yeah, so just over a year ago, JR and Matt set up a little private range session that I attended with them, and they brought a bunch of rifles out and tons of accessories. And what they wanted to do is you guys wanted me to shoot all of these guns and try all of these accessories so that I would understand, what are the needs of the team and other competitive shooters. And what came out of that, Frank, is we started developing a series of just hand grenades. We literally had a picnic table out there and started jotting down dimensions and measurements and draft specification. But one thing we knew we needed to do was get the support surface closer to the bore line. So from the bottom of the chassis to the center of the barrel is only 1.25 inches. And then when we add weights to that, the weights on this gun are much more in line with the center of the bore. And as you noted, you can even invert them to get that center of mass much more around the bore axis.
If you guys go onto Sniper's Hide and you look in the images that we've been posting, Rhett's been posting images of like on props and things all morning, you'll see how the barreled action and even the scope sits lower on this rifle than even like an MDT ACC. So if you take like an ACC chassis and set it alongside this, and we'll end up doing it tomorrow, and the videos we'll put up next week, because there's going to be a series, 3-4 videos that'll go up next week. You'll see how this rifle sits low. That brings that center of gravity low. That's going to keep that recoil in a straighter line for you. And it's best practice is kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so.
It's gonna allow you to mount your scope lower as well. You can use, this is a higher scope rail, I believe that's a lower scope rail. That's gonna make your scope lower to this barreled action. You're gonna be able to fit it through portholes and things like that, barricades. And the cheek piece was actually even designed to go lower to accept scopes that are mounted lower.
Yeah, that was asked about the difference between the ASR cheek piece and this one. This one is definitely lower. They addressed that issue and they talked about it in the videos we'll be putting up. I mean, one of the I guess Rhett's right here. You probably could talk best about just shooting comp stuff with it. And Matt too. We'll bounce back over. I'll bring it over to Matt in a minute.
Going from that AX line to what we have here is, like JR was saying earlier, the cantilever effect with the AX, it was never designed to be a competition rifle. And this one, without the hand stop rib, you know, under recoil, it tracks really good. It settles super fast. It's what you would want to do the best in the competition. And the wide footprint of the weights is phenomenal. The AX, I mean, it's a great gun, but it's just not made for trying to win matches.
Well, the match has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at it. Let's be realistic, guys. Shit changes. People are like, well, AI was behind the curve with. Well, you didn't address match stuff because that's not you're a military contractor. So competition is something you did for fun.
Yeah,
Now
but-
you
Exactly. I mean, the guys, we started this team and they went out and competed with sniper rifle. You know, that's what we made and they did very well with it. But as the sport evolved, we needed a different tool.
right.
And that's what we have here. And Matt can talk.
Yeah,
about
because he
his team.
competed in the finale with it, so you could talk about the difference. I mean, really, it's the balance and tune difference, but it's the recoil pulse different because you took the things that get in the way out,
Right.
in a
So
way, you know?
We've, as a team, have been spending a number of years now trying to adapt the AX to be a more competitive rifle, given the changing dynamic of what is a precision rifle competition and what is asked of the shooter on the clock. So transitioning from having an AX with a bunch of different aftermarket add-ons to the ATX, and I was able to take it down to the match at Altus in the fall here, and I've got a lot of years and a lot of rounds downrange on the Altus props, shooting a number of different competitions down there. I love it, love the place. Mikey, you guys are awesome. But the ATX was an eye-opening experience after coming away from that match. You know, it's never been a question of accuracy for the AI rifles. Our AXs, the ATs, ASRs, you name it, they shoot phenomenally well. It's not a question of accuracy. It's what happens when you're trying to get on target and trying to get stable, pull that trigger, and then what happens after you pull that trigger. And the ATX addresses a lot of those issues that we had with scabbed on stuff on the AX. We just didn't ride a bag as well as we wanted to. And also, in fact, the narrower the prop, the more the bag would form over that support surface. And as you drop the AX into place, no matter what you were running on it, you would contact the rib where the handguard met the center section, and it would create kind of a pivot point. So with the ATX, it just drops down. The times from when I go and hit that position till I break my first shot, it's incredibly faster than an AX. And then once I break that shot, it's like it rides on rails. So it's an eye-opening experience being able to shoot it, take it to the finale. Finale was much more of a field match, which our AXs did phenomenally well in. So I didn't get to see as many barricade positions and different props as I did in Florida, but Florida was an awesome opportunity, and I know the rest of the team is excited to go back and hit the AI match in March down there and see what this thing's all about.
And Guys asking questions, talk about the pistol grip, how it's just swap out, modular, whatever you want to do with the grip.
So we're looking at, future components and things like that. It is a standard AR interface. It's different from the ASR where it doesn't have the rake to it built in. So if you were to put a vertical grip on there, you're not gonna have a reverse rake on it. So it is adaptable to the end user, and we're looking at a few things to make it a little bit better for us. You wanna talk about it?
Scope rails are 20 MOA. You could talk about their
Yeah.
co-witness or co-planner there. That the front rails, these. Let me roll it down here for you guys a little bit. Yes, either a taller, short 20 MOA rail on the Action, and then as well as if you put the rails on there, it's additional, the same, right? 20 MOA.
Right.
Yep.
That's correct. Yeah. So just like the AX line, it's going to be user adaptable. If you want to run a UNS up front, thermal or I2, it works perfectly fine. For rigidity, even though it's not a singular tube, we found it to be phenomenal. So there's no question about zero shift when throwing on and off UNS.
Like you actually tested this against
Yep.
the AX.
I did.
with,
Yeah, so I was able to test the AX handguard, the ASR handguard, built-in RS dovetail, and then also test this in multiple configurations with half bridge, full bridge, weights, without weights, top rail, and I used Viz laser on it and was able to check offset and how much torque, because we shoot from a lot of different positions, but we still do tripod shooting, and when you clamp into a tripod and torque a gun, everything's going to move. But what we found is the ATX actually excelled beyond the rigidity of the ASR handguard with the top clamshell on. So as far as putting lasers and UNSs on there, you can load into your bipod, you can throw it in a tripod, you can run 2 tripods, whatever you want to do, and you're not going to have a bunch of flex going on like some of the stuff that we tested out there.
Nice, nice. Now, people are asking calibers, bolt heads, and they want to know about bolts for the ASRs. And so you might have to jump down the rabbit hole of bolts, bolt heads, and then put the 223 to rest, because they're asking 223 too.
Yeah, so I'll talk about that. I mean, tomorrow, Frank, we're going to be out at your range doing some shooting, and JR has been testing 6.5 PRC set up with this gun, and we'll shoot that tomorrow. You'll get to shoot it. It works beautifully. We will probably first finalize the design on that Magnum bolt head, 6.5 PRC.
Okay.
And then transition to a 223. The 223 will take more testing because, it's to feed that round reliably, we need time to really make it work right. We don't want to come to the market with some half-baked,
Right.
set of parts.
So
But
there,
it is coming.
this is going to ship in 6.5 Creedmoor, but like you guys are running 6.5 BR. They're asking about BRs and Dashers. You guys going to, 6 BRs. And, well, there's a 6.5 BR here too.
Yeah, I know.
I thought, is that so, not so?
We're not talking about
Ixnay. Don't put it on the side of the rifle. It's like, we're not talking about that. Don't talk about that. So anyway,
Between JR and I, we have tens of thousands of rounds of BR through our guns.
Easily. I've ran a ton of BR and Dasher for the last 4 or 5 years. Probably 7, 8, 10 barrels worth.
Before you guys
It runs great out of these rifles. With a mag kit, a mag spacer in the back, it runs fantastic.
are you guys going to offer the spacer kits? They said, who's doing the spacer kits for you guys for that? Or did you just build your own?
No, they're just third party.
Yep.
Matt has done some custom ones that JR have run, but we will be bringing a properly engineered VR mag solution.
Okay, so there you go, guys. They will bring a mag solution for you guys out. So you're good to go there. What else we got questions? Let me see.
We're going to do a proper WSM mag as well, correct? PRC. WSM
Likely on.
Who's this? So
Yes.
Alan's saying he tried to order a rifle and they're all back ordered. Not this rifle, but AI rifles. It says, hopefully no back order. Tried to grab an AI. Most rifles were already sold out. Where is that? Because I just saw like 150 of them downstairs. Right.
Maybe we should take the camera to the warehouse.
Yeah. Do we need to take the camera through the warehouse? And you want to see Mile High's new building? Maybe I'll ask, I can ask Diane. I was going to say Alice for a second, but I was going to ask Diane, If we can walk through, we can.
No,
So
the only
I-
thing we haven't delivered yet, which is a little bit delayed, is the ELR, you know, the new 50 ELR multi-cal gun, but it's coming very soon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, the stuff's there. Same thing with barrels. People were asking about barrel. One guy posted in the video, oh, you better get your barrel now because you won't get it in 6 months. If you call downstairs, one guy got one at Christmas in 6 days. So guy just posted today, hey, I got a Mile High, spun me up a barrel during Christmas in 6 days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even understand how somebody can't get a barrel for an AI. Everybody sells, them,
Right.
including us.
Yeah, because that question was, so they're asking, yeah, the AX50 MC there is going to be coming soon. Scott just mentioned it, so they just asked about that. Let me grab a couple other questions going on. Well, Scott, maybe you want to address the triggers while we're there, because you were into the whole trigger and talk about that. People were asking, just from the side while I look up some more questions.
Yeah, sure. So we can talk about the trigger. This gun is shipping with the comp trigger. We worked with Tom Myers at XTSP to develop that, and you know it's undergone some further development. The housing on that trigger is now made out of 304 stainless. The internal sears are A2 tool steel.
Mm-hmm.
They're Rockwell 52C hardened. They have a special electroless nickel treatment.
Yeah,
And
a little louder.
they've been rigorously tested. We have a lot of confidence in this trigger. As it ships in the ATX, it will be adjustable with the installed spring set from 1.5 to 2.5 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It will also ship with the light spring set, which will allow you to go from 12 ounces to 1.5 pounds. But we're shipping it with a heavier spring because it's a little friendlier to the less.
Yeah, you
technically
start wrenching on those screws too much, guys, you can knock them out of tune, and they'll start. So you really got to know what you're doing before you just start throwing Allens into these triggers. Guys try to turn them into something they're not and try to play with them, and then they wonder why they screw up. Like a lot of us, we don't even really mess with our triggers other than the comp guns you guys do. But like for the field guns, how they come out of the box is how most of us shoot them.
Exactly.
You know, we don't mess with those because it's the 2-stage. I want to marry up. Right. And you know, you might get one or two every now and then. You'll run across one where somebody maybe have to tweak it a little bit. But usually, you know, it's a field gun. And guys start wrenching on them because they don't understand the over travel and the 2-stage. That's like a safety. Like when that trigger moves as much, we have an old one. Yeah.
This
Is that an old one?
well, it's
Yeah.
a comp trigger,
So,
but it's a stock comp trigger.
but the thing, when you guys look at these triggers and they move that much, like I'm a press brake. Let me get behind you over there, JR. I'll do it lefty. But it's like, look, so you take up that first slack, right? This is super light. But see how much extra movement there is? I'm gonna come in here and then I'm gonna come back to the wall and then it's a single stage from there. And then you just, boom, and you're done. But yes, there is more movement if you're gonna screw around. You don't drive your trigger shoe through the stock. When it breaks, your job is done. So that's the thing, is that we have to teach people a lot of times, is you're not trying to drive that shoe right into the stock, that it's just a press, break, and freeze. You come in, take up the slack, I'm married up to it. Then when I wanna break it, and how many ounces is this one? It's light.
Probably 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds.
I mean, it's light as hell, but I'm still controlling it. It's trigger control. To the wall, break. See, I still can move, but I'm not. So that's what you need to do with that guy. And somebody asked me, let me show this. Oh no, look. What is that? Oh shit. They're all laughing.
Don't worry about that little guy.
Don't worry about that little guy. We don't need that little guy.
They wanted a close-up of the red gun.
Oh, so you want a close-up? A zoom? All right.
The red and black, sorry.
Oh, the red and black? Hang on.
So this is a specific AI protein gun for the U.S.
And tell them the butt stock. People are asking that this has the ASR back.
Correct.
That's why it's a little bit different than the other
Over
one.
here, Frank, if you can. So here's the fixed interface. Then here's the folding interface that goes on the ASR butt, or it'll go on the factory butt that the rifle ships with. as
We
well.
had, wasn't there another?
Yeah, let me find it.
Yeah, there's another one. You got it, man.
Was that?
Oh, no. So there's the black one.
Here we go.
Oh, so here we go. So there's the other butt. That's the new.
So it ships like this, and then this will be available in the future.
And you can also upgrade to the ASR butt.
Or you can get that one, which has the toolless and all that. That's the high speed, low drag guy. So there you go with that.
And that is, that hinge assembly is reversible for your lefty or your righty, so it just makes it a little bit more modular system.
The bubble's not in this chassis, it's on the rail. This is old. Wasn't this old, Scott? Wasn't that?
Oh, yeah,
That was a Maverick 40. The bubble level in the back on that rail is the old Maverick 41. That was there a long time ago, that rail.
Yeah, and one of our engineers designed a short action version, and we had some made up for the team. So we've had these for several years.
So they do run a bubble on that one, but that's an old school.
Yeah, we just keep moving them to our latest rifle.
Is that something we're going to be offering?
Potentially, I mean, if people get suicidal, if they can't have it. They'll think about
Well,
it.
you know, if they don't have a level, the world's they're shooting 400 yards and they need that level because that barricade might be a half a degree off.
Bag rider from the factory?
Yeah.
Question mark.
That is definitely covered. That'll be an accessory.
What is the bag rider?
The back
Oh,
rider.
Yeah, a bag rider goes on the butt of the gun and goes on your game changer or whatever you're supporting the back end of the gun on. So, what other questions?
Back rider will be there left. That's later. They already asked. What's up? Somebody there. Let's see. Pre-order. Yes, they are pre-ordering them today. If you call Mile High, you guys can pre-order. How much? $49.95 for Ninja Squirrel. What else we got there? Can Mile High spin up a 308 barrel for a Zeus quick change? I'm sure they could. Call Adam downstairs.
So here's the flush cup, same as old ones. It goes on the key slot. Here's the full length bridge.
Got it. Got it. There you guys.
A close up of the new flush cup interface in the back.
Yep, so here's the flush cup interface on the ASR. So it takes it from the AX, which was like right here, back to here.
So Scott, they're asking
And then
about
there
the
should be
ASR
one
bolts and stuff, bolt
underneath here,
bodies
too.
and things like that. The different bolts for the other rifles.
Okay, so what do they want to know about AS?
They want a ASR 308 bolt.
Yeah, so the distributors have them on order and we will be delivering them soon, like February.
They're asking about the upgrade conversion from your old rifle because you had mentioned a chassis.
Yep.
Where you
Oh,
could.
like on the short actions?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, so this ATX chassis, we will offer this as an upgrade for AT and AX got rifles that people currently own. So, you know, Mile High certainly would be able to offer a customer to unbond their current action and then just drop it in here. It does not need to be bonded to this chassis. It's a direct fit. It just will directly drop in here. And
So you're gonna offer them the ability to upgrade and move it over if they want to.
yeah, of course. You know, we want to offer people an AI engineered solution. You know, guys that currently own a gun, and we want to give them something that's intelligently designed.
Right.
What
Solves their problems.
what colors is this going to be offered in?
Black, dark earth, elite sand, red, and blue for 2021.
Awesome.
And there will also be a Remington 700 footprint.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we're-
chassis.
Yeah, obviously, we're working on an AICS variant of this chassis. We've always done that with our various series of rifles. We'll have working prototype that we'll be testing here in the U.S. at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
Following that, we give engineering feedback on any any needed changes, and then we fix the design and go to metal and make a small production run and then further test them.
Right, and guys, this is just a short action situation. This isn't a short and a long. You're not, right now. Right now.
Initially, it will come out in a short action. The design architecture easily allows us to extend that to
Yep.
long in the future.
Right, so that's good. And the flat triggers are available. You can order them from Euro and Mile High,
Yeah,
right?
they're available.
Yeah, you can buy a flat trigger shoe now. The flat trigger shoes are already there. So,
These are gonna be shipping with the curved triggers?
yeah, they'll
Trigger
ship
shoes?
with the curve, and you can upgrade to the flat and just order that flat and swap it out on the piece there. Who else we got going on? Hello, everybody. 150 of you are there. Anybody got any other questions that we can answer? I think we got most of them. What's this one? Will AI develop new drag bags? No, you guys aren't gonna do bags, aren't? Who does drag bags anymore? Nobody drags a bag.
That's how I shoot at competition. I drag mine.
Frank, we manufacture rifles, not bags.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, the aftermarket does such a great job today with
Right.
soft goods. I mean, we have suppliers that we work with, like,
Contact
Armageddon Gear,
Mhm.
they're a team sponsor.
Most of them, if they're gonna do a drag bag, most do the TAC
Yeah.
Ops. TAC Ops is a
Right.
good one, because Armageddons are good, but they're expensive, because they're
Yeah.
twice as much as a TAC Ops. But if you want a drag bag, call Mile High. They have the TAC Ops available, and you can get it from them. And it comes with the mat in it and everything, all that other crap. 'Cause I don't know any other drag bags people are using today. Nobody.
No.
Right,
Mm. Yeah, that drag bag, 25 Creedmoor. Oh, sure, you can make one.
easy.
Yeah, you can. It'll work. You
Yeah.
just make it. So
Yeah.
all it is a barrel, dude, with your 25 Creedmoor.
Change away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just to clarify that all of your legacy barrels for your short action AIs work on this gun as well.
Yeah, this
Same action,
this
same
is an
barrel.
AT, guys. So people are asking, because like
Yeah, they're freaking
we
out
have to
about the barrels.
reiterate that it's switch caliber.
It is quick change.
It is quick change. Like here, show them here, Rhett, where it's hidden. People didn't see it by the key mod over there. Key mod. You got me saying it now because everybody's saying it. Key slot.
Look at that little fella.
Look at that little fella right there. That little guy right there.
He's hidden.
Mm-hmm. But that's your quick lock to switch it out.
There's the footprint of the
You,
double stacked.
and because it's getting in my brain now, and I had to sign off earlier today. Tell them the difference between the key mod and key slot.
Okay.
Well, actually, you could show them on here because it's up there. It goes. It's back. We're back. Sorry about that. Some idiot tried to call me.
Give him the down low on the
Yeah. So
copy.
So when you talk about the three common fasteners, you've got M-lock, key slot, and key mod. M-lock uses a 1032 screw with a steel key that spins 90 degrees to create a locking T on the backside of the
And it's
material that you're
flush.
trying to lock to, and it creates protrusion into the inner channel. And we didn't want to, one, it's more cumbersome to use. And then you look at key slot. Key slot is a one-piece fastener,
You wanna
left-hand thread with a large shank.
Mhm.
And so the durability and robust nature of this fastener far exceeds
Got it.
key mod. Because key mod, again, uses a 1032 fastener with a small threaded flange feature on the other end. And what you wind up with is the tensile strength of that 1032 screw in the end. So with this all-integral one-piece fastener, it far exceeds the pull-through strength of pretty much everything else out there. And the benefit is that you're not trying to have any keys, twist, turn to lock, or anything like that, or multiple components to come apart. These guys are just super robust. Single 4mm hex key for installation removal. It's quick, easy, and it has absolute flush feature on the inside, so you're not racking the barrel into the when you're trying to install and remove the barrel.
And we should note that key slot preceded key mod in the marketplace. We were there first. The design of key slot was always intended to be simple and to provide for alignment of the rails and accessories. Once you draw those back nuts into those conical recesses, whatever you're attaching, be it a rail or a weight or a round holder, it doesn't shift and move on the gun. it's probably got the best stability of any interface available on a gun today.
Yeah, you start putting lasers on off there, that thing will have a much higher repeatability than any sort of fast.
Is it still going? 'Cause
Yeah.
it was just playing around here.
Still rolling.
Yeah, sorry guys, we're connections, man, internets, what can we say? Somebody, there we go.
Why the 45-degree angle on the key slots? We went over that earlier. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it here. Matt, can you hand me the little foreign? So, I'd like Matt and JR to comment on this, but back when we were in the development phase and looking at all of the different systems on the market, one of the questions you have to answer is, do we make the gun work with existing weight systems and accessories? But when we really evaluated, how do you attach all of these things to the gun at once? And how, if you want to reconfigure the gun, how easy is that to do? Well, what we learned, when I went out to that private range with these guys and spent the whole day, JR had a couple of guns all weighted out, and I said, hey, JR, I want to see how this barrel channel weights work. And he says, no, dude, I don't think you want to do that. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Well, Frank, 20 minutes later, I had the channel weights out, and then we had to put it back together. And what we found is it's like a frigging Rubik's Cube.
It's a puzzle, it's a Chinese puzzle box.
Yeah,
Chinese puzzle box.
So this bridge, if you notice, the legs that support the bridge are angled just like those slots. And when you drop that in there and fix it, there's no obstruction to now putting an accessory in that same slot. So it's not a Chinese puzzle. You can run the barrel channel weights. I've got a printed model. They have a little clearance groove down the middle. When those are installed under the barrel, you're not now prevented from putting a rail anywhere you need to put it on the bottom. You can have this installed, and you can take rail off and put it on. There's no
You reversed,
interference.
every third one is reversed.
Yeah, on the bottom, every third key slot is reversed to allow
Bring it in tighter, Matt.
fastening the channel weights.
So like right
And
here,
you
it's
can- it
reversed,
still works with
reversed.
all of our standard
reversed.
threads. So the 45 orientation, it allows real estate to fasten the bridge. And it also was a really neat solution to allow us to put weights on and take them off without having interference with other components. Like some of the systems out there, if you put a bridge on, it's like, oh, well now I've got to take something else off before I can move
The
that
bridge
else
around,
off,
right.
None of this works that way. Like even the weights, we noted they're stackable. Well, you can move the weights off as a stacked pair. You don't have to take the outside weight off before you get the inside weight off.
Right.
So we really tried to make this simple for the end user. If you're out there in a competition and you decide, oh, I need to take this weight off, or I need to make the gun heavier forward or make it wider, you can do that in just seconds or a couple of minutes. It's not like, oh, I need an extra 15 or 20 minutes to reconfigure this gun.
Here, I can yank this weight right here. I'll go in there. Is that loose already?
Maybe.
That one.
Loose already.
Yep.
Put that back now.
Oh, yeah, back.
There. There.
There you go.
And then the other one will go.
Probably still need to back it out.
There you go.
That one slipped.
It's just like the rails.
Just, I got
It's not loose enough.
not loose enough, that's all.
Frank's new.
Under
I'm new.
pressure, Frank.
I know, I'm trying to do it fast and I'm not.
There you go.
There we go. Sorry. So you can, it goes through in that way, and then
Why
it,
don't you show them how they're attached? Take the
The outside weight off.
extra attached.
Yeah, so those screws have a wasted away thread section. So if you have to change that out in the field, you're not gonna lose your screws.
let's see, so that one's there.
Motor weight.
You know what the problem is, me mechanically wise, because I'm ambidextrous, so I always start
And then
switching.
you've got the alignment dowels that key into these holes, so it's really a rigid,
Put 'em back together?
well-aligned setup.
Ta-da.
Somebody asked if this stuff will go on normal key slots, like, so, yeah, so it'll work with
Yeah,
a key
these will
slot.
work on, the weight system will work on the AXs.
Yeah, Frank, so we're making weights very similar to this that they're designed to run on the AX
Yep.
legacy rifles. So,
Mhm.
you know, so the guys that already have that system, if they wanna try to, weight it out and balance it better, those will be coming out very soon.
Yeah, the guys that are asking for the dasher stuff, get a hold of Matt over there and talk to him if you need a dasher insert. They are gonna do it, I don't know when they're gonna come out, but definitely, so for the dashers and other mags and everything, talk to Matt right now, but that's coming down the pipeline for these guys.
Yeah,
So-
there's a number of kits out there. I know that Mile High is a big fan of the HRD kits. Nothing super special about it. We just modified existing AI followers and put a little Delrin insert in the back, and it's been working really, really well for us. The only thing I'm gonna say is that if you shoot in a lot of really dusty environments, those straight wall cases are just a little bit less reliable. But as long as you take care of your equipment, it runs great.
Keep your mags clean.
Yeah, keep your mags clean. That's the thing. It's not a 308 case, big old taper on it, so.
Any other questions, Frank?
Nope, just those mags right now, nobody's asking in. So there it is, we're up to that. So I think that pretty much, I don't know how long we've been talking.
Oops.
How long we've been?
An hour.
Hour? I think that pretty much covers it. I don't know if you guys have any other questions or anything for us to look at, but we should be pretty good.
You guys covered the heritage. You wanna kind of close out just talking about where the gun came from?
Oh, if you want to go, I mean, we kind of talked a little earlier that, yeah, but, yeah, you can give a rundown and have a conversation there. Go ahead, Matt.
Just kind of close out the history of the Team AI starting in the fall of 2014. The competition was a lot different then. Coming up when ASR became a thing, 2017, starting to put all that together. The ASR rifle was had some influence from us and came to be a reality and became the next long action offering for the United States, and it's a hell of a rifle. And we took what we learned from that and finally had our whole wish list come together. And in a series of a few months and a few range trips, we had what is it, a Crayola CAD?
We
it's-
looked at this earlier.
Yeah.
But, it's one of the original Crayola CAD sketches.
And from this rifle was born, and it's been an awesome opportunity. And one of the things that we take a lot of pride in is being out there shooting the rifles with other competitors and talking to people, AI fans or not. We're always learning, and we like to take home that knowledge and start chewing on it and thinking of how we can make things better and what's coming next. And I think that this gun really sets the platform to be a super modular system, and look forward to the feedback from everybody.
All right, is that it?
I think that's good, man. I don't know. Do you have a little napkin sketch engineering? Let me see. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, I think we're good, man. Everybody, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. All the people that watched and everything. We had a good little crew on there.
Come check them out at the next match.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think we hope to see you guys at a match.